3 tornado watches are active simultaneously tonight, covering Kansas, Iowa, Oklahoma, and Missouri. Watch 225 runs until 10 p.m. with EF2 plus tornadoes and 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts considered highly likely. Watch 227, the newest one, runs until 1 a.m. and covers central eastern Kansas into central Missouri. 3 watches, 3 corridors, one of the highest ceiling severe weather days of the 2026 season. When I saw StormNet tornado probabilities approaching 50% near Salina this afternoon, I stopped cold. Stay with me through the Outflow boundary section. That single detail changes today's tornado outcome. And stay through Oklahoma Frank near Woodward. Watches Watch 226 and a cold front, both active tonight. Drop your city and state below tonight. I come back with your specific breakdown. Mark my words. Let me start with the tornado watch breakdown because 3 active watches is not a normal situation. Watch 225 covers southwestern Iowa, northeastern Kansas, and northwestern Missouri until 10 p.m. tonight. That zone runs from Falls City, Nebraska down to Lamoni, Iowa. EF2 plus tornadoes considered highly likely. EF2 plus tornadoes highly likely. 80-mile-per-hour winds highly likely. 2-inch hail highly likely, all 3 at once. Think about Carol in Wichita. Watch 227 covers her zone until 1 a.m. Overnight risk is real. Carol needs her shelter confirmed before 3 p.m., not at 9 p.m., when embedded circulations begin. Watch 226 covers western Oklahoma and northwestern Texas until midnight. Dryline supercells active now. Think about Margaret in Kansas City. Watch 227 puts her inside the overnight risk zone tonight. Margaret needs her shelter plan and alert device confirmed before tonight, not at midnight. Plain and simple. Low-level jet increases into tonight for Watch 226. Any storm that survives until evening becomes dangerous. Watch 227, the newest issue, stretches from Wichita, Kansas to Knob Noster, Missouri until 1 a.m. Watch 227 covers, embedded tornadoes in lines, discrete storms ahead of the line, and bowing clusters tonight. Bowing clusters in Watch 227 could produce wind gusts of 65 to 75 miles per hour, widespread damage overnight. Those bowing clusters in Watch 227 could produce gusts 65 to 75 miles per hour, widespread damage overnight. Comment your city and state below tonight. I track each one and give you a specific breakdown. Now, the moderate risk breakdown millions are bracing for dangerous storms across the plains. A strong upper-level trough moving out of the Rockies is helping to drive today's severe weather setup. A cold front and dry line across the plains are creating an environment for explosive thunderstorm development. The most intense storms could produce very large hail, damaging wind gusts, and multiple strong tornadoes. First storms expected to form late afternoon across central Kansas and southeastern Nebraska today. Some supercells may produce hail larger than baseballs with dangerous tornadoes capable of significant damage. The moderate risk was issued at 1625. Zulu forecasters Hart and Halbert signed off on this today. Kansas City, Omaha, Des Moines, Chicago, and Detroit all remain under severe thunderstorm threat through tonight. Deep tropical-like moisture spreading northward ahead of the storm system is what makes today so loaded. Dubs highlighted the Central Plains and Midwest for flash flooding potential today and Wednesday. Iowa could receive 2 to 3 inches of rain in areas already saturated from recent storms. Storms moving west to east this evening in Iowa could bring tornadoes, hail, and destructive wind gusts. A line of storms is already stretching from Missouri into the Great Lakes on Monday afternoon right now. That line is just the warm-up act. The main event fires later this afternoon in Kansas, folks. The strengthening low-level jet will feed moisture and energy into these storms well into overnight hours. Now, the SPC Moderate Risk breakdown today has the highest ceiling of this entire multi-day outbreak. Wait, before I get to the moderate risk map, there is one outflow wrinkle nobody expected today. Wichita, Topeka, Salina, Hutchinson, Manhattan, all inside the red moderate risk zone right now. Enhanced risk orange covers Des Moines, Omaha, Lincoln, Kansas City, and Woodward, Oklahoma today. Slight risk yellow stretches from the Great Lakes all the way down into northwest Texas. Enormous footprints. Milwaukee, Chicago, St. Louis, Tulsa, Oklahoma City, Wichita Falls, all inside the slight risk zone today. Think about Dale, a farmer outside Salina, Kansas. StormNet showing 50% tornado probability there. Dale is inside the highest tornado probability corridor in the entire country today. Good Lord. Today's SIG2 tornado hatching covers the 10 and 15% zones centered on Wichita and Salina, Kansas. SIG2 indicates the reasonable maximum intensity for any tornado today is around EF3. SIG1 stippling extends from western Oklahoma through Iowa. Strong tornadoes possible across that entire zone. Here's that outflow boundary detail I promised. This is the one thing that changes today's outcome. A mesoscale convective system ran through the Ozarks in Illinois overnight. It left a significant outflow. That outflow boundary has pushed near the Kansas border well south of the primary risk zone. Here's the problem. The outflow boundary keeps temperatures cool on its north side, suppressing development. If the outflow boundary lifts north today, the warm sector destabilizes and supercells fire explosively. If the outflow boundary holds south, coverage drops, but any discrete supercell that fires becomes violent. Most models are showing destabilization north of the boundary. The HREF and RAP both indicate recovery, y'all. The RAP shows the cold front stalling until 5 to 6 p.m. Supercells stay discrete until then. Discrete supercells between 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. in this environment is the scenario forecasters worry about most. The HREF model maintains discrete to semi-discrete supercells from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. today. 4 to 5 hours of discrete supercell mode in this atmosphere is deeply concerning. No joke. Rotation values today are 3 to 4 out of 10. Grand Island yesterday reached 4.4, nearly identical. Now, the hail threat giant hail is a real possibility today alongside the tornado risk. I need to stop right here. Today is not just about tornadoes, and that context matters. 3 simultaneous national weather extremes are happening today. They all share the same upper trough. Summer-like heat is challenging temperature records across the eastern U.S. at this exact moment today. High temperatures could reach the mid-90s, challenging daily record highs across the east-central U.S. The heat moves into New England by Tuesday. Major heat risk from the mid-Atlantic to New England. 26 stations across the country may break daily temperature records on Monday alone. Good Lord. 26 stations across the country may break daily temperature records on Monday alone. Good Lord. Iowa, Nebraska, Kansas, Missouri, Texas, Kentucky, North Carolina, Virginia records are on the table. The same warm southerly flow pushing temperatures to 100 in Texas is fueling today's Cape values. The Bermuda high locked over the western Atlantic is driving both the heat dome and today's moisture. Relative humidity in parts of New Mexico is at 4% today, 4%. Flat out dangerous. Extreme fire weather today across the southern high plains, strong westerly winds downslope of Rockies. Winter storm warnings and advisories are in effect for Wyoming and northern Colorado right now today. Frost and freeze advisories across the north-central high plains through Tuesday morning. Heads up. Dangerous tornadoes, deadly heat, extreme fire, winter snow, all on the same weather map today, y'all. The middle of the country is stuck in a non-stop weather loop. Today is the peak day. I need to stop the heat record list for Monday as something never seen in May. Here are the records at stake Monday. Some dates go back over 100 years, mark my words. Atlanta, Georgia, current record 89 degrees from 1881, Monday forecast at 87, very close to falling. Nashville, Tennessee, current record 94 degrees from 1962, Monday forecast at 90, approaching that mark. Charlotte, North Carolina, current record 93 degrees from 1982, Monday forecast at 93, tied today. Richmond, Virginia, current record 95 degrees from 1962, Monday forecast at 95, record tied today. Burlington, Vermont, current record 88 degrees from 1911, Tuesday could challenge that long-standing record. The NWS says highs will soar close to record territory in Iowa, Nebraska, Kansas, Missouri, and Texas. Records going back to 1892 and 1893 could fall this week, not a warm spell. Good grief. The intense heat is not only contributing to thunderstorm development, but may break daily records today. The developing heat dome over the nation's midsection is expected to gradually spread eastward this week. High temperatures along much of the East Coast are forecast to climb into the 80s by Saturday already. A warm front lifting northward will intensify thunderstorm development across Iowa by late afternoon. Temperatures soaring into the 90s and surpassing 100 degrees are helping fuel atmospheric instability today. The same heat that is breaking records in Dallas and Tulsa is the energy source for today's outbreak. The SIG-2 hail hatching covers the same zone as the tornado hatching Wichita, Salina, and Hutchinson, Kansas. Hailstones of 3.5 to 4 or even 5 inches in diameter are possible in the solid hatched corridor today. SIG-1 hail extends through the broader zone 2-inch-plus hailstones from western Oklahoma through Iowa. The 45% hail probability zone is the red and pink area over the Wichita to Salina corridor today. Any vehicle outside in that 45% zone today is at serious risk. Cover everything before noon. Now, the wind threat hurricane force gusts are possible in the black hatched area today, flat out. Hurricane force or greater wind gusts, that means 75 miles per hour or higher from bowing segments overnight. Dew points of 85 over 72 at the surface, deep instability fueling every storm today. Cape values of 4,000 to 5,000 joules per kilogram, violet and white colors on instability maps. Deep layer shear over 40 knots with storm relative helicity exceeding 260 meters squared per second. That helicity combined with those Cape values creates a significant tornado parameter of 3 to 4 today. I need to stop right here. StormNet tornado probability is approaching 50% near Salina, Kansas. 50% means roughly a 1 in 2 chance of a tornado within 25 miles of Salina today. That probability peaks in northeast Kansas before storms begin to line out in the early evening hours. Dale outside Salina inside the single highest StormNet tornado probability zone in the country today. Now the timing for today so you know exactly when the danger windows open and close. Heads up. Morning hours convection ongoing from the Missouri Ozarks into Illinois, outflow pushing south through Kansas. Early afternoon around 2 p.m. initial supercells begin developing along the cold front in northern Kansas. From 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. primary discrete supercell window, highest tornado and hail risk today. Between 3 p.m. and 9 p.m., greatest tornado threat of the day, be indoors before 3 p.m. Tornadoes in this window could stay on the ground for a long period. These are violent ones. Around 5 to 6 p.m., the cold front surges. Storms start to line out near Nebraska. By 7 p.m., storms congealing into a line. Wind threat becomes primary. Watch 227 corridor most active. By 9 p.m., strong spin-up tornadoes still possible as the line drops into Missouri and Oklahoma. Overnight, watch 227 active until 1 a.m. Embedded tornadoes and bowing segments continue moving east. Put your city and state in the comments. I will be back tonight with your breakdown. Now the city breakdown so you know exactly where you stand heading into today's dangerous afternoon. Now the heat city breakdown, what is coming beyond tonight's tornado threats. Dallas forecast at 102 degrees Monday heat index builds after today's storms push east. Oklahoma City, 100 degrees Monday. Memphis at 89. Atlanta at 87. Summer heat dome building eastward. Washington, D.C. at 94. Philadelphia at 94. Raleigh at 95. All forecast high temperatures for Monday. New York City approaching 100 degrees Tuesday. Major heat risk for the entire I-95 corridor Tuesday. The 91 million people facing moderate to major heat risk by Sunday was just the beginning of this wave. Brownsville, Texas forecast at 103 Monday heat index exceeding 110 degrees in the Rio Grande Valley. NWS Brownsville says health systems are likely to see increased ER visits from this level of heat. Never leave children or pets in a parked vehicle anywhere in the South or Mid-Atlantic today, period. Boise, Idaho, and Cheyenne, Wyoming are in the 40s today, temperatures 15 to 25 below average. Morning lows dipping to the 20s and 30s in parts of Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming this morning. That 50-degree spread across one country on one day is extraordinary, not normal. Mark my words. Frank in Woodward, Oklahoma has 100-degree heat and 3 tornado watches both active today. Good grief. Wichita, Kansas, inside watch 227 SIG 2 tornado zone, 45% hail probability, shelter before noon. Salina and Manhattan, Kansas, 50% StormNet tornado probability, most dangerous spot today. Bless. Salina and Manhattan, Kansas, 50% StormNet tornado probability, most dangerous spot today. Bless. Hutchinson, Kansas, SIG 2 bullseye, 45% wind and hail probability, EF3 plus tornadoes possible today. Kansas City, Missouri, inside watch 227 enhanced risk nearby. Storms arrive 7 to 9 p.m. this evening. Omaha and Lincoln, Nebraska, enhanced risk today. Storms firing 3 to 5 p.m. Severe wind threat overnight. Des Moines, Iowa watch 225 until 10 p.m. Supercells 5 to 8 p.m. Storm motion 35 knots. Falls City, Nebraska, and Lamoni, Iowa, inside watch 225 high danger with EF2 plus tornadoes highly likely. Oklahoma City and Enid inside watch 226 until midnight. Dryline supercells active, low-level jet building. Alva, Oklahoma, and Woodward inside watch 226, hail up to 2.5 inches possible. Motion 240 degrees. Wichita Falls and Amarillo, Texas inside watch 226 corridor. Dryline hail and wind threat this afternoon. Knob Noster Missouri and Columbia inside watch 227 boundary overnight. QLCS tornado risk until 1 a.m. Chicago and Milwaukee slight risk tonight as the squall line tracks east. Good Lord. Chicago and Milwaukee slight risk tonight as the squall line tracks east with winds and hail. Detroit, Indianapolis, Cincinnati 2% tornado risk as the line pushes through late tonight. St. Louis and Springfield, Missouri watch 227 zone extends toward you. Embedded tornadoes possible tonight. Dallas and Fort Worth slight risk today with dryline convection, hail and wind threat this afternoon. Here's the thing nobody is saying about today's dew point values. 85 over 72 is exceptional. Dew points of 72 in Kansas in May create one of the most unstable air masses possible. That moisture combined with cold air aloft pushes CAPE values to 4,000 to 5,000 joules per kilogram. Effective bulk shear over 40 knots at 4 p.m. tells us supercells have organization to tap into. Even the high precipitation nature of today's storms does not eliminate tornado risk, it makes them sneaky. Rain-wrapped tornadoes are the most dangerous kind invisible until they are on top of you. Tuesday brings a broad, slight risk from the Great Lakes down into the Texas-Mexico border region. Tuesday's most intense storms target West Texas large hail producing supercells near the Mexico border. Now, the extended fire weather outlook, the fire threat builds behind today's cold fronts. From California to Texas, red flag warnings have been in effect since Saturday through Monday evening. California red flag warning north winds gusting to 55 miles per hour, humidity 7 to 15%, no joke. New Mexico humidity as low as 5% over the weekend, wind gusts over 35 miles per hour, flat out. The NWS Albuquerque warned that dry lightning Saturday could start fires that are difficult to contain. Arizona red flag warning Sunday southwest winds gusting to 50 miles per hour, humidity values 8 to 15%. Wind gusts over 70 miles per hour were recorded in Utah, Arizona, and Nevada Sunday, stoking fires rapidly. Today's cold front behind the tornadoes will bring much cooler air from the north Tuesday. Stronger thunderstorms are likely across eastern Texas into the lower Mississippi Valley Tuesday into Wednesday. Wednesday brings severe storm potential along the I-95 corridor, Boston, New York, Philadelphia, D.C., Virginia. Nearly 50 million people across 17 states faced marginal, slight, or enhanced risk through the weekend. The WPC flagged central Missouri for moderate excessive rainfall risk flooding stacked on tornado threats. A low-end tornado risk also exists near the Great Lakes and Northeast states Tuesday, mark my words. Wednesday brings an isolated severe threat across the I-95 corridor from Boston to D.C. to Virginia. After Wednesday, widespread severe weather is unlikely for several days, so this is the peak week. Frank near Woodward, Oklahoma watch, 226 active. Dryline storms this afternoon. Cold front arrives overnight. Now what every person in the risk zone needs to do 3 watches running, act now. Now what every person in the risk zone needs to do 3 watches running, act right now. If you're in watch 225 EF2 plus tornadoes highly likely until 10 p.m., be indoors with alerts. If you are in watch 226 dryline supercells active until midnight, hail and wine threat building tonight. Anyone in Kansas or Nebraska primary severe window 3 to 9 p.m., be indoors, heads up. Anyone in Kansas or Nebraska primary severe window 3 to 9 p.m., be indoors the entire time. Mobile home residents in Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa, and Oklahoma off-site shelter confirmed right now, period. Every vehicle in the 45% hail zone near Wichita and Salina needs to be covered before noon. Charge your phone and backup battery now. Storms will knock out power across multiple states tonight. Do not rely on seeing a tornado tonight. Rain-wrapped tornadoes in Watch 227 zone are invisible. Multiple ways to receive warnings tonight: phone alert, weather radio, and a neighbor who monitors radar. Turnaround, don't drown applies. Overnight flash flooding on saturated soil continues through Wednesday. Carroll in Wichita. Watch 227 until 1 a.m. Rain-wrapped tornadoes overnight. Shelter confirmed tonight. Dale outside Salina, 50% StormNet tornado probability. Shelter confirmed before noon today. Frank near Woodward watch 226 active until midnight. Dryline storm fires possible this afternoon. Bless. Frank near Woodward watch 226 active until midnight. Dryline storm fires possible this afternoon still. People who make it through events like this always had their plan confirmed before sirens ever went off. Let me run through the complete action checklist. 3 watches running simultaneously means act now. First, shelter location confirmed and communicated to every family member before storms fire today. Second, multiple alert methods: active phone alarm, NOAA, weather radio, local TV, meteorologists. Third, charge all devices now. Today's storms will knock out power across Kansas, Missouri, and Iowa. Fourth, vehicle undercover in the CIG2 zone before noon. Softball-sized hail destroys vehicles outside. Fifth, do not rely on seeing a tornado tonight. Rain-wrapped tornadoes in Watch 227 are invisible. Sixth, turnaround, don't drown applies to every road in Kansas, Iowa, and Missouri tonight. Seventh, check on elderly neighbors and family who may not know. 3 tornado watches are active. Eighth, if you are in a mobile home inside any watch zone tonight, go to solid shelter. The NWS says tornadoes today could cause extensive damage and stay on the ground for a long period. The flooding threat continues through Wednesday. 2 to 3 inches on saturated ground is dangerous. Good grief. This week is not a single-day event. It is a weather loop across the central U.S. The central U.S. frontal boundary is firing severe thunderstorms repeatedly through Thursday this week. Share this forecast with one person in the watch zone today. A heads up could save a life. Do me a solid, someone in Wichita, Salina, Topeka, or Kansas City needs to see this today. A heads up from someone they trust beats 10 push notifications they swipe right past, plain and simple. Share your city and state in the comments. I will be back tonight with your breakdown. 3 tornado watches active. Watch 225 high danger until 10 p.m. Watch 227 newest until 1 a.m. overnight. StormNet approaching 50% near Salina, the highest ceiling day of the entire 2026 outbreak sequence. Dale sheltering near Salina. Carol confirmed in Wichita. Frank watching Woodward's 2-window setup. Margaret tracking watch 227 in Kansas City. 4 people, 3 watches, 1 violent storm day. Stay safe, stay smart. Take care of the people around you. See you in the next update.